Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another CyberX video banger. In today's video, I have a couple of video clips for you all today that are going to confirm that they are talking about this flip of the switch moment, implementing cryptocurrencies as new payment solutions for cross-currency payments, directly focusing our attention on the abilities of the XRP ledger, Ripple, and XRP, the digital asset. If you all enjoy these video breakdowns, do us a favor, smash that thumbs up button and subscribe, piecing this information in a way for you all to understand that no other mainstream media platform is going to show you this stuff. The vast majority of the video breakdowns that I'm going to share with you all today barely have over 100 views, people. So please wake up and see how important it is to educate yourselves. Before we get into the video clips, again, stick around for the entirety of this video breakdown. I'm going to play a video collage for you guys confirming these things here, which I'll go over in just 1 second. But before we get into that, remember we've been preaching to you all that these large financial institutions, these major organizations, they're telling you all to get educated. It's not us here at CyberX telling you all that it's important to get educated. It's major institutions, financial organizations, large government entities telling you all that you should get educated. For example, here's a post that we just put out. The UAE government telling you all to get educated. Here you can see this is a direct PDF from www.eif.gov annual training plan 2024. So this is updated. Shout out to the CyberX researchers. And here it goes on to say, talks about with major digital transformation of banking. Okay, you see that right there? So it does confirm there's a major digital transformation. It says the digital transformation of finance is coming down in history. In this rapidly transforming environment, it is imperative to keep acquiring new skills and knowledge to stay competitive. I'm telling you all right now, the vast majority of individuals on the X space and on YouTube, they don't even know what is about to happen because they're moonboy hypists that follow the crowd. They follow the herd. They don't understand how long this is actually going to take and what's happening behind the scenes. And infrastructure is for a fact being built and laid out. The plumbing is being restructured so that way it can handle large volumes, volatility, and massive amounts of liquidity that financial institutions are about to bring to the table. I'm telling you all right now, once we enter into a utility-driven market, this whole entire crypto sphere, these low prices that everybody's complaining about now are going to blow people out of the water, and so many people are going to get shaken out because they did not buckle down, do their research, zoom out, and see the long-term perspective. So before we get into the video clips, this last post that I'm going to share with you all, you can see here, this was posted on LinkedIn, okay? And I said to you guys, who thinks that it's by accident that the new director of business development, CBDC, and digital assets at Ripple got the job and previously worked at R3 for 6 years before this? If you understand what Ripple is building, you will see that this is all part of their interconnected web. And here, this is directly from Marcus L. on his LinkedIn profile, where he went on to say, I am thrilled to announce that I have joined Ripple to lead business development for CBDC and digital assets. I'd like to take a moment and appreciate the last 6 amazing years at R3, where I had an opportunity to pioneer the enterprise blockchain ecosystem and have met colleagues, partners, and clients that have turned into great personal friendships. With the approval of the Bitcoin ETF, the world of traditional finance has heralded in the age of cryptocurrency going mainstream. I'm extremely impressed by Ripple's robust enterprise blockchain solutions and the public XRP ledger that have stood the test of time well over a decade, processing billions of transactions, helping companies and individuals move money in seconds with absolute security and finality. So with that in mind, again, this is not a freaking coincidence. This is not by accident, people. He got this job for an absolute reason. He worked at R3 for over 6 years. Here's his LinkedIn profile. You can see that right here, okay? So real fast, what this slew of video clips is going to confirm for you all is that we have, for a fact, existing technology to enhance cross-border payments. Ripple's Susan Friedman sat in on a panel discussion where central bankers and major large organization representatives sat in on a panel discussion confirming that this technology exists. And they asked Susan Friedman about XRP, XRPL, and the future that she sees. Why would Ripple, out of all blockchain-based solutions and companies out there, be the only one sitting in on this panel discussion where they're talking about a bridge asset being necessary in order for these large organizations and jurisdictions to be able to interact with each other seamlessly cross-border. Okay, just think about that. Why would they choose Ripple? Then, this video clips are going to confirm that the widespread of adoption of new systems by major financial institutions is taking place. They are moving from an old system over to a new system. They also talk about the necessity of adaptation to the digital realm to remain competitive. Remember, in previous video breakdowns, we've told you all that those financial institutions and large organizations that do not adopt these new digital technologies will fall behind. They go on to confirm that. Then they talk about the exploration of cryptocurrencies as potential solutions for faster transactions, but they make a specific distinction that they will not be using Bitcoin or Ethereum, okay? Pay attention to that part of the video clips. Then the clips go on to confirm the development of a new infrastructure to transition from the old, outdated legacy system to the new one. Then the lady goes on to confirm the importance of liquidity in cross-border FX settlements. And then I'm going to play a couple of video clips from David Schwartz where he goes on to talk about the focus of XRP Ledger's design and how it's focused on liquidity as a secret sauce to how the XRP Ledger works. Then we're going to get into some video clips of acknowledgement of the fact that they are utilizing Ripple's technology, but they're not using XRP. Pay attention to the gentleman because he says we're not using XRP yet, okay? And then last but not least, we're going to play a couple of video clips of David Schwartz mentioning a flip of the switch moment. Another gentleman mentioning that people, a lot of individuals, know that this is taking place and that some people will be asleep at the flip of the switch, and how David Schwartz goes on to mention the flexibility in integrating cryptocurrencies into the system when deemed appropriate for going live. This video breakdown is going to blow your mind. If this doesn't show you a clear path to what's coming in the future, I don't know what else will. Shout out to 24 Hours Crypto for some of these video clips. Many blessings to you guys. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this video breakdown.
And we have seen over the last few years a lot of, new entities, new fintech coming and bridging gaps that are in the chain there. And I think we are probably at a point in the industry where the technology is there to support the shortening of the life cycle. So I think it's both a market decision, a regulatory decision, but also I think it's technology supported changes that will take place.
Financial systems. So if this is going to happen, if CBDCs are going to be used cross-border, there has to be a mechanism for different national CBDCs to be exchanged for one another. Technically, we know how to do this.
Have the technology to allow every financial institution on the planet to settle with every other financial institution in a compatible jurisdiction in any asset in seconds for less than a penny. Just think about this. Anyone who's made a payment knows that we're nowhere near that today. But imagine every financial institution settling with every other financial institution in seconds for less than a penny, any asset. That's fundamentally transformative. We have the technology to do it. Now we just need to figure out how to drive the adoption. And of course, there's all the challenges with
in the US, and probably they had been able to use part of that to increase their own efficiency. And I think it's all about, the T+1 is unavoidable. I think the technology will be there to support it, but we need to have the time. And I think this is really where your consultation with the market, with all the parties, to make sure that actually we have a plan in place that will enable everyone to actually move. Consultation with the market, with all the parties, to make sure that actually we have a plan in place that will enable everyone to actually move.
Well, the value is that it's actually easier and faster and better to build financial products on a DeFi stack than it is to build it on the old traditional financial stack that was built over the last 50 years. And that's why you're seeing major banks, major PBs start to build things like tokenized money market funds. Because they see this and they say, oh, the crypto rails are actually better for trading these traditional assets than the current rails that we have. So we're going to move over slowly.
To make sure that actually we have a plan in place that will enable everyone to actually move.
Your competitors, for example, about liquidity and distribution, what is the sense that you're feeling within the industry now? Definitely. I agree with both of your comments. Definitely, I'm in the let's just go ahead and build phase. We've been talking about it forever. We have a plan. I've spent the last year since I joined figuring out the strategy. So it's not like we're just going for it and building it. We've come up with, a very detailed plan, but we're very
With all the parties to make sure that actually we have a plan in place that will enable everyone to actually move.
We've been talking about it forever. We have a plan. I've spent the last year since I joined figuring out the strategy. So it's not like we're just going for it and building it. We've come up with, a very detailed plan, but we're very open to changes because.
Obviously, we need to compete. Obviously, I'm with you. That we need to follow. There's no way we can probably avoid that.
Simply making statements like that. We think it's going to completely change worldwide supply chains. If you're not operating at the edge of innovation or technology, you need to be prepared to be commoditized or potentially to become extinct.
Obviously, we need to compete. Obviously, I'm with you. That we need to follow.
Anyone else want to comment on that?
Yeah, maybe one comment on the continuous instant settlement. I think we all have in mind what happens in the crypto world where you can trade 24/7 and then you settle instantaneously after the trade. I think we all have in mind what happens in the crypto world where you can trade 24/7 and then you settle instantaneously after the trade.
Well, as I was saying, I think CBDC, if we want to go digital, we need it, period. Otherwise, nobody wants to settle in Bitcoin or in Ethereum. It would be completely ridiculous, period. Otherwise, nobody wants to settle in Bitcoin or in Ethereum. It would be completely ridiculous.
If you think about what Bitcoin was supposed to deliver to us, it was a medium of exchange. Now, as we know, Bitcoin did not serve very well in that function. At some level, it's become a purely speculative financial asset. This always creates a lot of groans and boos in a cryptocurrency conference. But I see that there are more sober minds here. It turns out that as a medium of exchange, it does not work very well. We know about...
And just to send money to my mother in Nigeria is a challenge from a fiat perspective. Every month, I try to send payments from my HSBC account, via Flutterwave to Nigeria. The same amount, the same time of time of month, and every time it gets blocked, every time, and it gets flagged for fraud. And this is from a fiat perspective. So can you imagine how difficult it's going to be if I was to use, Bitcoin to this? In Nigeria, you can't send, Bitcoin.
I think we all talk about efficiency, faster payments, and all that solution. But here are some interesting facts. If you look at institutions like BlackRock, Fidelity, Numera, all of these ones, doesn't matter, the list is just big. They are all talking about the slowest currency within the cryptocurrency space, i.e. Bitcoin. And the reason for that is there is a lot of faith behind it, which is I don't know, I'm not expert enough to say it, whether it's a commodity, whether it's a currency, but there is a faith, and that's the only reason that they're considering it as an alternative asset.
But they're not transacting.
They're not transacting. They're considering it as an alternative asset.
Why don't we do it in another technology?
Right.
So if it's more than 5 years, why don't we take the bridge we advance the US and we go to digital, rather than investing more into legacy technology? Why do we run operational risk like the one we are describing if the digital environment can actually provide with the safety in terms of so many things, through smart contracts and the likes? So that we invest in the next technology, not in the existing one.
Absolutely convinced, otherwise I wouldn't be here today, that just at a base level, taking a network that is safe and secure and using that to replace legacy networks like SWIFT, $30 and up to 48 hours to make a transfer, as long as we can get over this regulatory blast that we're getting at the moment being led by the US, and which gives the confidence in turn for the institutions to start replacing the likes of SWIFT, open banking, faster payments, SEPA, all of this sort of stuff with these new networks. And I think that will come. I'm a great believer in it. I actually believe that this will be the future of payments and other. And in the coming 5 years.
And there is one more aspect which is very important, is the liquidity
and the funding question. And especially this is important when it comes to cross-market, cross-border settlement where there is an FX component.
The other thing that I wanted to talk about is automated market making. As I mentioned before, the XRP ledger is the OG DEX. We had a DEX in 2012. We have cross-currency payments. We have issued assets. We built the XRP ledger. We designed it, and other people have extended it with the payments use case in mind. And that payment use case is a cross-currency payment world. It's a world where some people like dollars, some people like euros, some people like Bitcoin, some people like XRP. It's a multi-token world. It's a tokenized world where maybe other types of assets are tokenized. And liquidity is sort of the secret sauce to making that work. I think personally, my earliest vision that I think has held for 10 years now was this idea of sort of public pools of liquidity. In existing payment systems, you're stuck with that payment system's liquidity. If you use Western Union, you get their cash in, you get their cash out, you get their liquidity, whether you like it or not, and you can't unbundle those things. That early vision was these pools of liquidity that everybody can contribute to and everybody can draw off that are kind of unbundled from the payment system or the asset that you're using to pay with. Automated market makers, I think, will help improve that liquidity because they can capture a long tail of assets better than technologies like order books can. We've been working with the community on an automated market maker implementation for the XRP ledger. And today, for the first time, I think I'm going to let the world know that it has a mechanism that I don't believe exists in any other automated market maker design in the world that allows the stakers, the people who put the liquidity into the automated market maker, to command a larger share of the profits that would normally go to arbitrageurs, increasing the return.
Definitely. I think we were talking a lot, we were working a lot with Ripple in, I think, since 5 years, 6 years back. Since I joined in FinTech world, I think we started with working with Ripple on the cross-border remittance. And then we were the very first bank to pilot the Ripple network. And definitely that time it used not the XRP, the Ripple yet, but until now, yes. We were the very first bank to pilot the Ripple network. And definitely that time it used not the XRP, the Ripple yet.
And this is kind of the same idea. You can build a federated sidechain with some feature that you want to propose for inclusion in the XRP ledger, and you can handle real money with it. You don't have to. You have a switch that you can flip whenever you're ready to handle real money. You have a switch that you can flip whenever you're ready to handle real money.
Everybody's aware. Everybody's aware it's coming, and they're preparing for that inflection point where it's all of a sudden, okay, I have to pivot, I have to give up that, but I'm going to build efficiency. This is not going to be where people, I don't think, maybe some are going to be asleep at the switch.
You have a switch that you can flip whenever you're ready to handle real money.
Maybe some are going to be asleep at the switch, but I think for the most part, people know this is coming. It's going to change their business models, but it's going to make them more efficient. So it's one of these, low revenue, higher margin opportunities, and it's just, as soon as it starts to happen, I think it's going to be, issuers who drive it for financial products. And I think that's going to happen in the next couple of years.
Do you think the market is moving, and how is Ripple contributing to the whole ecosystem?
Sure. So Ripple commissioned a report last year, which actually showed that 76% of traditional FIs are looking to implement some kind of crypto or blockchain solution in the next 3 years. Now, I think back, I've been at Ripple 5.5 years. 5 years ago, we were having a meeting with large banks. If you mention the word crypto, people looked uncomfortable in their seats. You can see some, are they going to call security, escort us off the premises? But now you fast forward, 5 years, or certainly for the last 18 months, those same banks are calling us back in to discuss what their strategy looks like, right? So,
consultation with the market, with all the parties, to make sure that actually we have a plan in place that will enable everyone to actually move.
Firstly, I think big change. We've made some huge strides there, but we still got a long way to go to actually have these, traditional FIs implement solutions that their customers can actually adopt. A lot of it is still talk, but again, we've made some tremendous progress there. And Ripple have been quite unique in that sense because we view partnerships between traditional FIs as key to the growth and adoption for crypto and blockchain, right? We believe that, these institutions, for mass adoption, you need to educate, you need regulation, but you also need the big players who have the reach to also support and push that on to the benefits to their consumers. So that's a big focus.
So you believe that collaboration and partnerships are crucial?
100%, yes.
Okay. Yeah, I agree.
And if you think about it, you have these big, slow banks that want to implement something cool and sexy, but they don't have the infrastructure to do that. So the only way for them to do that is to partner with crypto-native entities and businesses who can kind of bridge the gap and give them the solution they need without the heavy lift of building it themselves. And that's kind of what we're seeing.
So hopefully you all enjoyed those video clips. If that doesn't solidify a lot of things for you guys, that zoomed out perspective of this new infrastructure that they are building, how they're planning on using digital assets for cross-currency settlement, and how large of a role XRPL could potentially play in this new financial infrastructure, then I don't know what else will. If you all enjoyed this video breakdown, do us a favor, smash that thumbs up button and subscribe to the platform. We do appreciate the love and the support, and these videos do take time to make. With that being said, I'm not telling you guys to go out there and buy any digital assets or invest in XRP, but I am asking that you all take it upon yourselves to do your research, wake up, and see what's happening long term. As always, be cognizant, be aware, and I'll see you guys in the next video breakdown.